All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Do Hard Things podcast. We have great discussions with engaging guests on a variety of high performance topics to help you live to your fullest potential so you can be the role model that you need to be in your family, in your relationships, and in your community. In today's episode, what I want to do is I want to do a mid-year check-in. At the time of this recording, we are halfway through 2022, and just want to kind of check in. How are you doing? Where are you at right now? Are you happy with what you've accomplished so far, and where do you see you finishing the end of this year? And so we're going to get into that today. And before we get into today's episode, just a couple housekeeping notes. Please smash that subscribe button so you're notified of future episodes. Leave us a review on iTunes. If you've gained any value whatsoever, just the one favor that I ask of you is to go leave a review. Helps us expand the Do Hard Things Nation when people are looking at the myriad of podcasts that are out there. We're doing some awesome work here. We want to get the word out, and those reviews mean a lot to me. I read all of them, and we've gotten, nearly all of them are 5-star reviews, and I think it's awesome. So I really appreciate that. And if share this podcast with your friends. Take a screenshot. Tag me in it if you gained an insight. Could be this specific podcast, or maybe it's one of your other favorite previous episodes. And I'd love to know, what is your favorite episode? What are the insights? And I have people message me all the time with a nugget that they've learned, and people reach out to hey, I shared this podcast with a friend, and it really helped them. And we're getting new people all the time in the Facebook community. So really appreciate that. This episode is sponsored by DHT Coaching and Consulting, which is founded and run by yours truly. I offer one-on-one coaching, group high-performance coaching. And this year, what I'm looking for 2 new one-on-one clients to help them take them to the next level. If you're in a leadership capacity, either at work or maybe you're an entrepreneur or business owner, leadership and being at the top can be kind of lonely. And sometimes you just need someone to confide in, to, talk about where you want to go, overcome some fear. And that's what I do with my one-on-one sessions, is help people through a specific approach and curriculum that's bespoke to the individual, tailored to you to help you overcome fear and break through that next level so you can crush your goals. And I got 2 seats available on my one-on-one roster. We're also looking for individuals to join the Forge. If you want to join a community of like-minded people that are crushing goals, because that's what that is a goal-crushing mastermind. It's a place where you can, ask questions and have a safe place to vent and get feedback and have some level of accountability. The Forge is a group where we meet up weekly, and that is also open and available to you. So if you're ready to level up, take the next step, that's what we do over DHT Coaching. You can go to jtiegs.com, or if you want to check out everything else that we have going on with the apparel and events, go to dohardthingsnation.com. We got our first event scheduled for September 10th, which is a 5K and 9.11 mile run or ruck in honor of 9/11. It's on September 10th, and it's going to be at Cooper's Landing outside of Columbia, Missouri. If you can't physically make it, that's cool. We have virtual options as well. The medals and shirts are going to be amazing, and all proceeds are going to go to support the Do Hard Things Foundation, which is going to be specifically helping veterans and law enforcement find their next mission. So, all right. So, and if you're not part of the Do Hard Things Facebook community, you can go join the nation. Be sure to check out the Facebook community, dropping all sorts of motivation, having some great conversations over there, and so I appreciate you. So, all right, so let's get into today's topic of, the mid-year check-in. So the phrase "do hard things," do means taking action. And so many people have incredible intention in life, but for some reason they lack initiative. So many people have a lot of hope, but they're not doing the hard work that's necessary for them to achieve their dreams. A lot of people make a lot of promises to themselves and to their partner, to their kids, their family and the friends, but they don't have the persistent action. They have the intention of changing, but their old habits and the scripts that they play in their mindset takes them back, and they're not doing the things that they need to do, and they continue to fall short. And that's a challenge for people. And we're all on a journey, and we got to stop and do a map and compass check. And if you're here listening to me right now, you're the type of person that you're looking to level up, or you wouldn't be listening to what I'm saying today, right? You could be listening to uh, you know uh, so many other things out there. You could be listening to your favorite top 40s music right now, but you're listening to me, and on this podcast we talk about high performance topics and how to level up. And there have been times in my life where I have fallen short. I have made promises to myself or other people and fell short. And I've had goals and dreams. And I'm like, man, I wish I would have, if I would have did these things, I could have maybe achieved them a little bit quicker. But that's all right. We can't go back in time and rewrite and change anything, right? We don't have a time machine. But we're all on this journey. And then what I want to do today is kind of give you some tips and tactics to help you kind of check into where you're currently at and see if you're on the right path. And when the dust settles at the end of 2022, you know that you've achieved some things that are worthwhile. So let's stop and do a map and compass check today. So this podcast, what I would recommend, if you're driving, cool, continue to listen. But I would encourage you to maybe go back with a pen and paper or pull out a Word document on your laptop and go back, because I'm going to kind of walk you through some prompts, some journaling prompts to help you kind of, put a pin in where you're at today. We're all on a journey. So we need to, like, when you do a map and compass check, you got to stop, you got to pull out the map and compass, and you got to figure out where on the Earth's surface you are currently at and where do you want to go. And sometimes we have to stop and do that adjustment. And that's what today's podcast episode is designed to do. So if you're driving, continue to listen. Don't want you to be riding right now while you're driving. But go back and listen to this later and get a pen and paper or pull out the laptop with a Word document. And if, as you write things down, hit pause as you need to and rewind. And I really want you to do this. I really want you to do this exercise. I want you to take some time, because you're going to get a lot out of doing this reflection exercise, whether it be pen to paper. There's a lot of studies that show that pen to paper are very impactful. You can even, I do a lot of my journaling on an Evernote, so I'm typing things out, and that's okay too. But I really want you to stop and do this, right? So first thing I want you to do is, think about what you have accomplished thus far this year. What have you accomplished this far? What are 5 things that you are proud of that you accomplished this year so far? Things that moved you toward a goal, things that I'm proud of, something that improved your life, something that made you happy. Maybe it was having a tough conversation with someone that improved the relationship. Maybe it was starting a new fitness program. You saw some fitness gains. Maybe you hit a new fitness goal, or you dropped some weight. What are you proud of? What did you accomplish? Something that I'm proud of is I spent more intentional quality time with my kids. And this summer, having the opportunity to take some time off and being able to go to the gym with them and work out with them. We've had some breakthroughs there, and I'm incredibly proud of that. We've had some difficulties and some hardships. I've got triplet 14-year-old daughters that are in middle school. We're navigating some difficult times right now, and being intentional with them has enabled me to come closer to them, to where they can open and talk to me. And I'm really proud of that. This is something that could be easily written off. If I didn't stop to smell the roses, I would have overlooked this one thing. So as I sat down and did this exercise, that's one thing that I'm like, you know what? I'm really incredibly proud that I made the time and was able to connect with my kiddos. I also, I applied for a couple competitive business internships, and I was accepted in both of them that are just starting. I'm really proud of that. We're growing this movement, and I feel like I got some great coaches and mentors to help with that. So I'm super excited about that. And, we've all faced, I think about, when I towed the line to start 2022, typically every 90 days, there's something that happens in your life that kind of throws you off a little bit. And I look back, I'm like, yeah, had a couple curveballs that kind of threw me off a little bit. And I'm really proud of how we towed the line and navigated through them. And so what were some of the challenges and hardships that you faced? And what are 5 things that you're incredibly proud of? What were those things? How did you navigate through those difficult times and challenges? What did you take action toward that you're proud of? Could be something simple. Maybe you started a side business, made your first sale. That's big. When you start a business, you have an idea or a concept, you're starting a brand, or maybe you're part of a multi-level marketing organization, and you make that first sale. That's you only have a business if there's money being exchanged. So did you make your first sale? Did you hire someone? Did you mentor someone? Did you move? Those are all big things that you can celebrate. Maybe you started a new relationship. Maybe you ended a toxic relationship. Maybe you finished a course toward a degree or certification. Maybe you completed an entire course or certification. But what are 5 actions that you're proud of? And you may have to hit pause and take some time to reflect and write those down, and that's cool. So you've got to hit pause, go ahead and do so. But when you're done, go ahead and continue to move on. But make sure that you do this, because oftentimes we don't reflect on these things that we should be proud of. And what happens is that we end up in this trap. It's a pitfall, especially for high performers, that there's never enough. It's like we're always chasing. We don't stop to acknowledge, where we spend our time. Our measuring sticks can be too big sometimes. And if we're not achieving these big things, then we're not doing anything. I have definitely done that. And, I'm reminded by my friends and coaches that sometimes I got to pump the brakes. And so this exercise is very, very powerful for me, because sometimes I feel like if I'm not making big strides, then I'm not doing anything. And as I look back at this year, because I'm like, man, when I started, it's like, what did I do this year? It seemed like it kind of went by kind of quick. But then when I really peeled back the onion a little bit, man, I did accomplish a lot. And I'm incredibly proud of those things. And I had a little period to where I was, frustrated, like immensely frustrated. And because I didn't hit the big objectives that I thought I would. But that's one of my I would say toxic traits, right? Is being over ambitious with my time and what I can accomplish, because I'm always doing things and getting things accomplished. And sometimes I that's one of the things that I tend to do. So this exercise is powerful because it reminds me of, hey, I started on some goals and some projects and life happened. And how did I navigate through that life situation? Did I get back on track? And what can I be proud of along the way? I submitted my retirement packet. That was a huge thing for me. I got accepted to a couple of internships, went on some camping trips. I saw Jordan Peterson, which was awesome. I went with Lacey down to Texas. That was a curveball thing that we had a family member in need and crisis, and we were able to go down there and spend time with them. We got a new podcast episode. We're dropping 2 episodes a week with the weekly wake up, and we're acknowledging people, and Lacey's creating new designs. We got our first event set up. We were sponsors of the best sapper competition. There's a lot of things going in this community that are going incredibly well. One of the hardest things that I did was say goodbye to my dying, mother who raised me, and forced me to confront some of my childhood demons. And that was a trying time for me. But I was able to make some amazing memories this year, and do some things that make me feel like I'm on my path, and I'm on my mission, and I'm incredibly proud of that. So your actions don't have to be monumental. Like I said, I'm guilty of this. And sometimes our measuring sticks are so high that we get discouraged because we feel like we're not making the progress that we want. And when in all actuality, you actually did make progress, and you did things that you should be proud of. And if you don't acknowledge and integrate your wins, it will cause you to continue this perpetual cycle of feeling like nothing is ever enough, or it erodes your confidence. And you gain confidence in yourself by acknowledging your wins. That's one of the studies that they found in the high performing people that acknowledge their wins have more confidence. And if you feel like you're not having confidence, or you feel like in the last couple of years you haven't made a lot of moves, and you feel like you haven't done anything, well, I'm going to call bullshit on that. Because if you really peel back the onion and look at what you've endured, what we have been through, you have accomplished some things that you should be proud of, but you're not acknowledging them, and you're not integrating those wins, and you're stumbling in that pitfall of never feeling like you're good enough, and it erodes your confidence. So that's why this exercise is so powerful. Pulling out that pen and paper, pull out the pen and paper, and take time to acknowledge the things that you're doing well. And once you do that, now we're going to get into the second part where we're going to confront some things that maybe we're not doing so well. Okay, so let's identify our wins. If you haven't done so, hit pause and write down 5 things that you could be proud of. Acknowledge them, feel them, take a moment to relive them, visualize on them, and be proud of them. And that's where you find fulfillment. That's where you find fulfillment in life. It's acknowledging your wins and being proud of them. And that's how you increase your confidence. All right, so let's shift over into the second part of this. Let's check in on ourselves. Let's talk about accountability. Let's take into account how far we've come and perhaps where maybe we fell short. Okay, personal accountability is when you started going through something, you embark on a goal or made a promise to yourself, and you're on that path to fulfill it. Accountability is acknowledging and measuring how you showed up. And how did you perform on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis? Accountability requires some level of measurement so you can account for these things. And high-performing people have a measurement of success. They measure these things. In the Forge, that's one of the things that we do is we have an accountability sheet where we identify the tactics of how we're going to execute the goal. We measure it and score keep. And that way, if we fall short, we can identify what happened as opposed to throwing the goal out and starting a new goal. Maybe we need to change the tactic, but you can only do that if you score, keep, and measure. And so there's so many people that don't do this very well. And if you want to learn how to do this, reach out to me. I'll teach you how to do this. But we need to kind of face ourselves and see where we're currently at. So when you started off this year, when you towed the line on 2022, what are some of the goals and projects you started and you failed to complete? And this is a judgment-free zone. This isn't to beat you down, but we need to acknowledge where we fell short and identify what maybe caused us to fall short. And so for me, I embarked on 75 hard and I failed around day 60-ish, and it made me feel bad. I wasn't very happy about that. I don't like to fail or not show up or not be impeccable with my word, right? One of the 4 agreements. But sometimes it happens. And, I basically got overwhelmed and overextended myself. Like I said, it's a pitfall and a habit that I have. And that's where I've got to take some accountability. So did you fail at something? Did you fail to take accountability in your health? Did you start a plan and did you quit? Did you fail to take accountability for maybe some credit card debt that piled up? Maybe you had the vision of saving some money or starting, a new job to save some more money. And did you, how did you show up in that? Did you fail to take accountability in your relationship? Maybe you said or you're going to do something or make a change or make a promise to your partner and you fell short. Maybe you cast blame and now you're both keeping score and you're in that perpetual cycle of tension. But you got to acknowledge what happened. And how do we mitigate that from happening again? And if you're going to perform at a high level, high performing people face these things. They don't just stick their head in the sand. They account for these things and they take accountability for what they accomplished and they take accountability for what they failed to accomplish. And, one thing that I tend to do, like I said, is I'm very ambitious with my time and I can overextend myself and overcommit myself. And, I failed to complete a program I started. Not only 75 hard, but there was something else that I had every intention of starting. And I failed to do that during one of the quarters. And, life happened. I acknowledge it. Life happened. It got away from me. I changed priorities and, acknowledge that. Now I'm like, okay, when in time and space can I revisit that? Or maybe I need to drop it altogether? But I've got to look at that and identify what happened so I don't make the same mistakes. Now, when you do this, you need to not get emotional about this when you fail. So this is something that I have not fully mastered yet, but I'm on my way. Is sometimes we beat ourselves up when we don't see things through. We ruminate. We talk bad about ourselves. We're not going to ruminate in our failure And this is something that I'm currently working through, and I'm much better at it than I used to be. But it's ultimately being able to detach, acknowledging your failure, facing it, but not calling yourself a piece of shit or all the other things that you say that you wouldn't tell your dog when the dog chews up the couch. We talk harshly to ourselves, and I have definitely done that, and I still catch myself from time to time in that thinking pattern. That's just neural pathways that I've developed over the years, and that's a habit that I've got to break. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to acknowledge your shortcomings and your failures, maybe some of the things that you've avoided and some of the things that you're not proud of, or maybe, but how did you take accountability of that? And instead of being emotional about it, detach yourself from it and pull yourself like out into a third person, like you're playing the video game The Sims. Like, have that overview of yourself. Just acknowledge where you failed without judgment of yourself, without calling yourself any bad names, and just acknowledging it. What happened? Why did you fall short? And how can you be better? That negative self-talk, that it leads us to carrying negative energy, which is ultimately not good for us. And if we're carrying negative energy, it affects our actions, whether we believe it or not. And what Tony Robbins says all the time is like, we're either in a beautiful state or we're in a suffering state. And if you acknowledge that you fell short on something and you said you're ruminating on it, you're not good enough, you're a piece of shit, you're a liar, all these things that we say to ourselves, that's just not true. Detach yourself from that and just acknowledge what happened and move on. And this is how you level up with your emotional, psychological discipline. So step out of yourself in third person point of view, observe yourself without judgment. And a great way of doing this is with the exercise we're doing today with pen and paper, or pulling out a Word document, just doing some journaling. And all right, so a great way of doing this is basically what I like to do is doing a whole life assessment. And that's what we do in the Forge. Is we do a whole life assessment. We scale ourselves. We account for ourselves 1 through 10. 1 being I'm the worst I've ever been. 10, I'm on my A game. I'm in the best it's ever been. And this is doing this periodic review can enable you to see some trends. So I will read some of these statements to you, and then you can kind of score yourself, see where you're at. So let's start off with our health and wellness. It's one of the pillars of our lines of effort in our life, our health and wellness. I feel my overall physical and emotional health is primed and optimized to make me feel energetic, motivated, and strong each day. I have the mental and physical stamina to deal with life's challenges and opportunities. So where are you at on a scale of 1 to 10? Where are you at with your health? Your affluence and wealth. Your affluence and your wealth, your finances. I have the level of abundance I need to have a stable income and lifestyle desire for myself and my family. I earn and invest at the levels I had hoped at this time in my life. I have the clear vision for improving my finances and lifestyle in the next few years. So where are you at with your affluence and your wealth? Then in your relationships, notice we're going down hard: health, affluence, relationships, development. All right. My immediate social circle of family and friends brings connection, fun, positive energy into my life. I seek out positive people, and I do my very best to bring positive energy and real authenticity to all my relationships. Now, I would say I would break up your relationships almost into 2 parts. You got friends and family, and also your significant other, your partner, your lover. I feel a consistent, deep, trusting, appreciative, soulful, loving connection with my significant other. I'm patient, respectful, and attentive to my partner's needs. So what are you doing there? How do you feel with your relationship with your partner? How are you showing up? Scale of 1 to 10. Then your development. And I would say, this could be your career, how you're improving yourself, your personal growth. Maybe it's ultimately your mission. But I feel clear, energized, fulfilled by my work and my contributions in the world. I believe my work or day's efforts adds real value to the world and is a true reflection of my best efforts and contributions. I am growing. I am developing myself. I'm enjoying the lifestyle that I currently have and my experiences in life. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you find yourself? Where do you find yourself? And this is taking some accountability of where you're at. Did you score high in some areas? What's the lowest scoring area, and what's causing it to be so low? And if you put some time and energy into that, what would that look like? What would that look like? And if you wanted to make a big improvement by the end of 2022, what would it take for you to do that? Do you need outside help? If it's your health and wellness, maybe you need to hire a coach or a trainer, nutritionist. For me, something that I'm really working on is my sleep improvement. I have not slept well, so I got a Whoop strap. I tell you what, this has been a game changer for me. I wish I would have got this thing. I'd have known about this thing for a long time. And now that I have it, I wish I would have got one much sooner. How are you managing your stress? Your affluences and wealth. How are you doing there? Are you in debt? Have you paid your taxes? Are you starting a side hustle? Do you have a business? How's that going for you? Do you need to hire a financial planner? Do you need a new stream of income? Do you have the abundance that you need? Can you lay off a little bit and actually enjoy life? How's that going for you? Your relationships, do you feel connected with your kids, with your partner, with your friends? Do you need to, put some energy, get that date night scheduled on a regular basis with your wife? Maybe you need to get into marriage counseling. Maybe you need to go on vacation. Maybe you've got a toxic friendship and, maybe it's run its course. Maybe you need to have that tough conversation. How are your relationships serving you? We need to have deep connection with people. And then your development, your career, your mission. Do you feel like you're doing your life's work, meaningful work? Are you developing? Are you growing? Are you sharpening your saw? If you're not growing, you're dying. So how are you doing on your development? Have you become too comfortable? How does that look for you? And as you look at 2022 of when the dust settles, we've got 2 more quarters left, but at the end of 2022, what do you want to have accomplished? What do you want to have accomplished? And how would that improve the lives of those around you if you actually accomplish that? What would that feel like? What would that look like? Visualize what that would look like. You can get so much accomplished in 6 months. You could revolutionize your life, your health and wellness. You could revolutionize your relationships. You could do something significant with your finances. You can accomplish, some coursework or pick up a new certification that can set you on a new career path. So when 2022 settles, what do you want to do? Where do you see yourself? What needs your focus and attention? What are 3 big goals in your professional life? What are 3 big goals in your personal life? So that would be 6. And if you had to put a lot of energy in your top 3, what would those be? And what would that look like? What areas of your life do you feel like you have a really good handle on right now? What areas of your life need improving, but maybe you've avoided improving them? Sometimes we avoid these things, put our head in the sand because there's a lot of pain that's associated with it. We've got to face this thing, and we've kind of made a mess with it. It's like picking your toys up. Someone comes over to the house and you got all the toys, jam them in the closet. And the closet, if you know, if you open that door, the whole thing is going to jump out at you. So we just avoid it altogether. What's that costing you? How does that feel? Are there any areas of your life that are just completely out of control? And who could you enlist the help of to help you navigate that? What habits do you have that are moving you toward a better life? And are there any habits that you know that are good for you that you want to restart? And this time next year, if you wanted to be twice as successful as you are right now, what would you need to incorporate immediately? What habit? What habit? So I hope that this serves you. Doing these reflection exercises enable you to know where you're currently at and to see, where you want to go and how you want to finish. And if you're listening to this, you're someone that I know you want to be better. You have aspirations. You want to level up. You want to achieve your highest, best self. And I'm so honored and grateful for you. And I'm glad that you're here. And I wish you all the best. If there's any way that I can support you, please let me know. But you have to have that sense of self-awareness. And that's what this is. So if you need to go back and re-listen to this, go back and re-listen. Get that pen and paper out. Journal about these things. And if you're ready to level up, you're ready to take it to the next level, then I would encourage you to reach out. I'm looking for 2 people to work one-on-one with for the remainder of 2022 and help them overcome their fear, and help them crush their goal. Maybe you have a lofty goal that you feel that you can't achieve. I'm here to tell you, we can get it done. Sometimes you just need a new outlook, a new perspective. And, sometimes leadership is incredibly tough and it's lonely, and you need someone that you can confide in that's been there, that's walked a mile in your shoes, that can help give you a new insight to get you back on the path. Maybe get some more work-life balance and help you get refocused. And, and someone that can help you see a different perspective and hold you accountable to your growth. And if that sounds like you, then I welcome a call to see if we're a good fit. I don't work with anybody. I can only work with people that I know that I can help. And, I have a certain way about it, and we got to see if we're a good fit. So if you'd like a welcome, I welcome that call if you'd like to do a session to see how that would work for you. I'm also looking for like-minded people to join our exclusive goal-crushing mastermind called The Forge. We meet weekly. We have an exclusive page where we share our journey together. It's a safe space to share your wins, struggles, work together as a community so that we can, as a collective group, reach our highest potential. And if you want to learn more, you can go to jtiegs.com. You can go to dohardthingsnation.com. You can also check out our apparel. We got events. We have the Do Hard Things Nation Facebook page where I'm dropping in knowledge and guidance. And obviously, you know where the podcast is because you're listening now. And that's what we're doing here. We're trying to raise the bar on ourselves with grit, fortitude, and focus so we can achieve our highest potential and step into the role model to become the role model that our country desperately needs. Our family needs us to be that way. Our partner needs us to be, and to be the leaders that our country desperately needs. So I appreciate you. And if you gained any insight, I would love to hear about it. You can reach me directly on social media. You can contact me directly at jtiegs.com. And I want to see you win. And that's what it's all about. There's so many things. It just feels like the mood of the country is definitely in a negative space right now, but we have so much to be grateful for. We have so much to be thankful for. I want you to detach from that, see where you're at in your life, and just realize that you can achieve your highest potential. But a lot of that has to go with, doing this level of work. You got to do the work. You got to do the hard things, the things that are easy to do, but easier not to do. Do the hard things and your life will change. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you listening. I'd love to hear any insights that you have. In the meantime, keep doing hard things. We will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for listening to today's episode of the podcast. If you like this podcast, be sure to subscribe so you're notified of future episodes. I would also love to know, what is your takeaway? What insight did you get from today's episode? You can screenshot this, send it to me on social, post it on social, tag me, and when you share like that, someone else out there may need to hear this message today. Only 10% of people are engaged in personal growth and development. And there could be a nugget here that could put someone in a positive trajectory. So feel free to share that, tag me in it, send me a direct message, send me an email, let me know what your thoughts are. And you can connect with me on all social media. You can send me an email at j@jtiegs.com. Take a moment, leave a review on iTunes. No matter if you're listening to Spotify or any other platform, like iTunes, I guess is the gold standard for reviews, and it really goes a long way for the algorithm for people searching for personal growth and development, and it helps us go a long way. It means a lot to me that you took a couple minutes to do them. I read through all of them, and it just feels good knowing that this show is impactful. So if you gain any value, you just ask that you do that. If you want to level up, you want to take the next step in your personal growth and development, you can go to jtiegs.com, jaytiegs.com. We got a variety of options. We got one-on-one coaching, high performance coaching through the High Performance Institute. Certified high performance coach. I've got a few different curriculums that I take people through. I also do group coaching. If you have an organization that needs a speaker or you want a live workshop, I can come in and deliver some training to you and your organization. We also have the exclusive Forge Mastermind group that is an elite community of like-minded people that are growing together. And we have a weekly call there. And we're going to be rolling out new content for that. And then also we got apparel. So we've got to go to dohardthingsapparel.com, get you a Do Hard Things shirt, show the world that you do hard things. We got hoodies over there, we got hats, we got stickers, we got patches, a variety of different things, and we got a variety of different models coming out. So you can show the world that you do hard things, and you can go over there and support us that way. That'd be great. So in the meantime, thank you so much for listening. Keep doing hard things. We'll see you guys